What's up, guys? In this episode, we're going to be going over how to be more disciplined. That will help you with your social life, of course, whether that's being disciplined to say stuff you're scared to say in conversations, whether that's being disciplined to, it's just doing stuff you're scared to do, basically, and going out of your comfort zone, which is what you have to do if you want to get better, alongside improving your confidence and everything. But it will also help you in other areas of your life to have more discipline, as everyone knows. So, I've touched on this in my recent video, but I don't think I'm going to make an entire video on discipline. You never know, I may. But I have a couple of things to say. Number one, this is just ways to be more disciplined, basically. It's not so much that you're using more willpower in a way. It's kind of making use of momentum and habit to basically be more disciplined. You're still not making yourself want to do stuff, but it's making it easier to be disciplined. So it's kind of like going skiing. You still need to be a good skier to get down a slope. In other words, you still need to use discipline to get stuff done. But if it's a steeper slope, you're going to get there faster. It's going to be easier to ski. So same with this, if you can make your slope easier, you're still going to need discipline. Maybe some stuff you won't now, it'll just kind of move everything up. But you're still going to need discipline to just make it a bit easier. So the first way to have more momentum and to make use of habit is to have small things. Okay, what I'm trying to say here is treat the small things just as important as the big things. So I'll walk you guys through my daily routine. So I wake up and I have a cold shower, or I go to the gym and then after the gym I have a cold shower. And sometimes I don't go to the gym till the afternoon, so I'm just unshowered and stinky for half a day. No, I'm not stinky, but you know what I mean. I still wear deodorant and stuff and brush my teeth. Anyway, the point is, and I would shower if I was about to go out as well. Anyway, the point is, when I stop talking about how stinky and gross I am, that I'm starting my day with something that takes discipline. I've done this now for about 8 months, I'd say. I've had cold showers. And I still don't want to do it, but I've developed such strong habit of doing it and such strong things that I tell myself that it's gotten a lot easier. But the flow-on effect is that every morning I'm practicing the skill of using discipline. So I actually realized recently that discipline is essentially just generating your own motivation. So there's this whole debate of discipline beats motivation every time and stuff. Yes, sure. Because motivation in the typical sense is you feel like doing something. Now, motivational advice is stuff that makes you feel like doing something. So a lot of my videos, they might make you feel like locking in more and, inviting someone out, or, saying a couple more jokes in conversation, or whatever it may be. That's making you feel like doing it. And self-motivation is telling yourself stuff that makes you feel like doing it more. And ultimately, using discipline is just doing that. It's making yourself feel like it more. You still don't feel like it, because you don't want to do it, but in a way you also do want to do it, because you don't do anything that you don't want to do. So you'll still have that strong feeling of, nah, I really don't want to do this, is going to be so uncomfortable, I hate this. But you have another feeling, which is a drive to do it. It's a drive. It really comes down to the pull of, oh, I'm lazy, I don't feel like this, and the drive of, no, I'm going to do this anyway. And discipline is generating that drive using thoughts, I've found. And also, I wouldn't say habit is discipline, but habit is another way of doing stuff that you don't feel like doing without having those thoughts that give you that push, because you don't need that push, you've just got the habit. So we're going to go into how using habit is effective. Every morning when you have these cold showers, back from the tangent, finally, you're practicing generating your own thoughts, which give you that push, to get in the shower, despite the pull that it's uncomfortable and you don't want to be there. So that practice of generating those thoughts, of generating your own motivation, actually transfers into other areas. Because a lot of it is the same. It's like, wow, I'm gonna feel so good after this. Like the pain is temporary, regret lasts forever, or whatever I might be telling myself. That stuff is basically applicable across lots of different stuff. Now, I do think that there is two types of scenario in anything where you need discipline. There's instant situations and there's slow burn situations. Instant is where you don't have time to think. So that requires a different kind of discipline to slow burn situations where you do have time to think. So let me give you an example. In social situations, there's a silence. You think of something to say, but no, you're scared to say it, and you're like, no, I can't say that. And you start overthinking. That's an instant situation. You don't have time to think. You have to immediately say it. Another thing is, last year I was doing some cold approaches. I was going up to girls and asking them out just randomly that I saw at shopping centers. That takes instant discipline, because you see someone and before you know it, you're going to have walked past, and then it's going to be awkward because you'd have to walk back. And like, realistically, the longer you wait, the less you're going to do it. And so you have to instantly decide. Slow burn, on the other hand, might be where you have to ask someone out. You have to send them a text, basically. You've got like days or weeks to decide to do that. So those take two different types of discipline. And obviously the cold shower thing that I'm talking about is more building, it's a little bit in between, but I'm going to say it's more on the slow burn side. So you have to do a mix of things that build both instant and slow burn discipline, because I would say they're two different skills. They're related, but they're two different skills. But now, as I was saying, the overall point of this is that you're treating every area of your life like you're using discipline. So this is not so much that you have to be super strict in every area of your life. There's a difference between being strict and being disciplined, because let's say you want to have warm showers. You don't want to have cold showers. That's fine. But if it's like you want to have cold showers, or like, let's say you want to eat healthier and you're not, but it's just kind of like not a focus and you're a bit lazy, then you're going to be kind of going against what you want. In other words, you're going to be giving into the temptation. And that's strengthening the temptation part of your mind, not the discipline part of your mind. So you're going to be getting worse in other areas then. So it's not that you have to be strict in every area of your life. You just have to be strict in every area of your life that you want to be more strict in. So stuff might be a low priority, but you want to eat healthier. Okay, well, now you need to start trying eating healthier. Now, if you actually just don't care, if you're like, you know what, I really couldn't care less about eating healthy, then don't try and eat healthy. Or maybe you care a little bit, but you don't care that much. In that case, maybe just one meal a day, you try and eat healthy. So what I do, I don't really care too much what I eat, but I try to not eat sweets during the day. I only eat them at nighttime, unless I'm out or I'm with a friend or a family. So that's kind of my attempt of like, I'm disciplined in that specific behavior. Am I going super all in on being healthy? No, but I'm either just fully lazy and I don't try and use discipline at all, I don't care, or I'm consistent. Every single time I follow my rule. So I basically, a better way of saying this would be I set rules for myself. I have cold showers. I don't eat sweets during the day. I don't like watch YouTube. I don't scroll, all that stuff. And that helps me do the other stuff that I want to do, such as work harder on making YouTube videos, because that's really the thing I need discipline the most for. And social stuff, like, you know, going up to people, whatever. So that is how you do it. You create rules for yourself in other areas of your life, and you take those rules just as seriously as the main thing that you're struggling with discipline for. Because these other things that you don't care about as much, they reflect on the main area that you're trying to get better at. Because it's all related, it's all your mind and how good you are at, how much of a skill you have at generating your own motivation. Now, there's another thing on the topic of making rules which can be helpful, which is to create rules about, well, let's just focus on the social stuff for now. You create rules on what you're going to do in social situations. So I have a couple of rules. I'm actually not the best at this, I should be better, but I've noticed that when I do follow these, it helps so much. So I try and create rules such as, when I'm by myself and there's another person by themselves, and both of us look like we want to be in a conversation, and it's the kind of social event where we should just be talking, I will go up to them every time. That's a rule. And like genuinely, I'd say that's one of my best rules that I follow a reasonable amount of the time. So I don't want to talk to people. Like, come on, who likes talking to people, right? But it's a rule. It's not like sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. Because if you allow yourself to not do stuff sometimes, your brain is always going to tell you, this is one of the times that we don't have to do it. And you'll end up doing it a lot less. But if it's a rule, oh, you have to do this every time, you're not giving that bad voice in your brain a chance to speak. There's no decision to be made. You just recognize the criteria and you act, rather than recognizing the criteria, evaluating, and then acting. I mean, if this is an instant decision, instant discipline, you're not going to be able to do it if there's any hesitation. And so you need to create rules. So 2 things there. Create rules for other parts of your life and follow them. Create rules for the main area that you're lacking discipline in and follow them every time. So I hope that helped, and that did not cover much of discipline, but it covered some. So give that a go. Hope that helped. Have a great day.